In this After Effects tutorial, we will create a super simple animation. Let's get started. We are in After Effects, and to start, I'm going to first of all create a new composition, okay, by clicking here. Then I'm going to call this waves. I'm going to use the preset, it's going to be 1920 by 1080, 30 frames per second. And I'm going to keep everything as it is, okay, and the duration is going to be 10 seconds long, and I haven't changed a thing here, okay. And then I'm going to hit OK. Now we are in our composition, and before we do anything, I'm going to import my color palette here, and I'm going to change this to full so that you can see more clearly. And then I'm going to change this to 90, and I'm going to scale it down by pressing S, and then I'm going to bring it here like this. Now I'm going to turn this into a guide layer. So guide layers are the layers that won't be rendered out. So first of all, I'm going to create a background using a solid. To create a solid, the shortcut is Ctrl Y, or you could just right click, new, and solid. I'm going to call this BG, and then I'm going to use this color picker, and I'm going to pick this color or this or this, okay. So then we have our background. Now I'm going to lock this background. Then I'm going to select the pen tool, okay, and I'm going to draw a shape by holding down shift, okay, like this. And then I'm going to just drag it out, and we have a shape. Then I'm going to drag this color palette on the top, and first of all, I'm going to enable the fill. And then I'm going to pick, let's go with this color, okay, and I'm going to make it a bit lighter like this, okay. Now I'm going to apply an effect called wave warp, okay. So this is wave warp, and this is, I don't know why I'm pointing my finger at the screen, but this is FX console. For the sake of this tutorial, I'm going to use this, but if you want to find effects, you can find it from the effects and presets, okay. Then I'm going to apply the wave warp effect here, okay. So we have, well, very okay, so this looks bad, as you can see. So first of all, what we need is we need to get rid of this part, okay. So let's see, what if I move it down there? Well, it doesn't work, and it doesn't work because it is applied to the layer that is constrained by the composition, okay. So we need to pin it, okay. So I'm going to go to pinning, and then I'm going to choose bottom edge, okay. It's that simple. Then these are all the parameters that are self-explanatory, okay. But for now, I'm going to change wave height, which controls the height of the wave for obvious reasons, but it's too much. And I'm going to change the wave width to something like this. Also, I'm going to enable the stroke here, okay, and we want it to be wide, so I'm going to change this to 1. We have really simple animation like this, okay. First of all, rename this. So I'm going to call this wave_1, okay. Then I'm going to right click, layer styles, and first of all, I'm going to apply an effect called inner shadows, okay. So it's not really an effect, it's a layer style. It's borrowed from Photoshop, okay? Then I'm going to go into inner shadow, and then I'm going to select this color, and then I'm going to change it to bit darker, I guess. And I'm going to change the distance, and I'm going to change the size, okay. And I'm going to decrease the opacity, and you can try different blending modes here, and it depends on your preference, okay. So I'm going to go with, let's go with multiply for now, and we can change it later. Then I'm going to go to layer styles, and then I'm going to apply an effect called bevel and emboss, okay. So we have really this, I don't know, paper cut type of effect on the wave, okay. Now the next effect that I'm going to apply is called, okay, light sweep, I guess, okay. I'm not sure if it's light sweep or line sweep, okay. So I'm going to apply this, it's light sweep, okay. So we have this, well, it doesn't work that well. And first of all, I'm going to change the center here, and I'm going to bring the anchor point to the end of the wave, right, like this, okay. Then I'm going to go into transform, and I'm going to parent the center of this to the position. Okay, so I'm going to just drag this to here. Okay, so we don't have to move center every time we do this process. Okay, so I'm going to change this now. Okay, so first of all, change the direction to something like this. Okay, then I'm going to reduce the sweep intensity, and then I'm going to increase the width of it. Okay, so we have really simple but really cool effect like this, and you can do so many things here. I'm going to increase it to something like this. Okay, so we have this really cool looking waves, right? Well, it's too simple for now. Then I'm going to duplicate this. Okay, and I'm going to bring this below. Okay, so we are going to go into order. First we have wave 1, then we are going to have wave 2. So I'm going to move wave 2 bit on top. Okay, then I'm going to go to fill, and then let's pick this one. Okay, it looks really nice. Then I'm going to duplicate this, and I'm going to bring it below, and I'm going to bring it out like this. Okay, so don't worry about this. Okay, we will solve that. Then I'm going to go to fill, and I'm going to choose this color or this. So this issue is being caused by the direction. Okay, so all you have to do is just change the direction, and then that issue will be taken care of. Okay, so I'm going to change this to -63 on each. Okay. Let's bring this just a little bit down. Okay, then I'm going to duplicate wave 3, and I'm going to bring it below, and then I'm going to keep it here. Okay, and I'm going to bring this down just a little bit, and I'm going to bring this down, and I'm going to bring this down. Okay, so we have this animation, but there is the problem. So this entire animation is, I'm going to change this to half for now. Okay, so the entire animation is repetitive and it's boring. Okay, so let's play around. Okay, so first of all, let's go to wave 2 and change the wave width, and you can change the wave height. Okay, so play around with this, and you can also change the wave speed if you want. Okay, so it's going to be faster. Then I'm going to go to wave 3 and how about we decrease this, right? Just make sure that it looks decent. Okay, I'm not going to do anything with the fourth one. Okay, then I'm going to select the ellipse tool. Okay, the shortcut for that is Q. Okay, so when you press Q, you are basically switching through this. Okay, see. Okay, Q, Q, Q. Okay, Q, 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 Q. Okay, so we have this Q. Okay, now I'm going to draw an ellipse, and I'm going to choose a color that is yellow, and it looks nice. Let's call this sun for now, and I'm going to place it on the back, and well, I'm going to reduce the size of it. Okay, and I'm going to go to align panel, and then I'm going to align it to the center. Then I'm going to recenter the anchor point. You don't have to do that. Okay, now let's bring in our main characters, the fish. Okay, so I'm going to bring in the fish, and well, the color is blue. I don't like the color, but this is image and I don't have anything to change the color. Okay, so I'm going to apply an effect called fill. Fill helps us to change the color of the layer. Okay, and I'm going to choose this color. Okay, but well, it matches, so I'm going to make it lighter like this. Okay, now let's animate this. So first of all, I'm going to hide the color layer. I don't need that anymore. And I'm going to move somewhere around here. But before that, I'm going to resize it by pressing S. And I'm going to bring it here, right? Then I'm going to press P to bring up the position. Then I'm going to keyframe this. I'm going to press Shift Shift down 2 times. Go here. Then I'm going to bring this below. So these 2 points are the keyframes, right? And I'm going to show you, don't worry. Shift Shift down 2 times. Then I'm going to bring it here. And make sure that the fish is hidden behind the waves, okay? So I'm going to bring it below like this. Then I'm going to go Shift Shift down. And I'm going to bring it here. Then I'm going to press Shift Shift down. Then I'm going to go Shift Shift down just one time, and then I'm going to bring it here. Now let's look at the animation. Oh my god, it's too bad. Okay, this is the motion path, and these boxes that you see are the keyframes, right? Now the problem that I'm facing right now is that the motion path is too straight. I'm going to select this, the pen tool, and then I'm going to go here, and then it's no longer straight. I'm going to select this, okay, and these two are handles, right? So let me show you something. So I'm going to just select the pen tool. So the shortcut for the pen tool is G, and I'm going to just disable it just to show you, okay? So these boxes that you see are the keyframes, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? And I'm going to right click on the keyframe, then I'm going to go at keyframe interpolation, okay? So this is the spatial interpolation. So we have two interpolations. The one is temporal, which is an interpolation that changes the property over time, and then spatial, well, it changes the space, right? So it's linear here, right? Now if I change this to auto Bezier, okay, we have the handles, and these handles are called Bezier handles sometimes, okay? And you don't have to do that. I was just showing you what it is and how it works, okay? Then I'm going to bring this down, not this, and make sure that the selection tool is selected. Then I'm going to bring it down like this, okay? And we have an animation like this. Well, it looks nice, but the fish is jumping and the fish is not perfectly oriented, right? So you can do so many things here. You can animate the rotation property, but that would create it would take too much of your time, right? That's not nice. You should value your time, okay? So I'm going to press Ctrl Alt O, okay? So Ctrl Alt O opens up the auto orientation, okay? So I'm going to choose orient along path, okay? And so this basically orients your objects along the path, okay? You don't have to manually do it. After Effects does it for you. If you want to apply it manually, all you have to do is right click, go to transform, where is transform, and then auto orient. See, Ctrl Alt O, right? So we have an animation like this, really simple, okay, really nice, cool, it looks cool. Then I'm going to bring this down like this, okay? So our fish goes in, okay? And you can also change this, right? But make sure that you drag it like this. So if you drag anyway, for example, if you drag fish, okay, I'm going to press U. So U reveals the keyframes, right? So if you are here and you thought that, oh, I want to change the position of the fish, let's do it here. So you will be creating a different keyframe. Don't do that, okay? Just make sure that you choose this and you choose the boxes. So these boxes are keyframes, like I said, okay? And I'm going to drag this down. Right now, next thing that we always do is we always use our best friend, that is the graph editor, okay? So I'm going to just select this keyframe assistant, easy ease. Then I'm going to go into the graph editor. The shortcut for the graph editor is Shift F3, or you could just click here, but I'm going to press Shift F3 because why not? Well, I'm going to change the graph to something like this. It's not a great idea if you ask me, but well, So the reason why I chose this graph is because I want this fish to suffer, I guess. I want it to suffer and stay in the air for the longer time, okay? And so that's why this is the graph. So let me zoom in and really quickly explain the graph, okay? So this is speed graph, by the way, and these 2 points are the keyframes, right? And this represents the speed. And you won't be able to see that unless your keyframes are easy eased, right? So make sure that you understand that. So here we go at peak. So this is the peak of the speed of the fish, right? And then we really slow down, okay? So if I really want it to suffer more, I can, well, change it. So see, okay? And this one looks nice, I guess, okay? And you can do that here, but I guess don't go too abrupt here like I did. So we have our animation, right? Okay, really nice. And I think I'm going to change this because I'm going to place it below like this, and I'm going to drag it out, and I'm going to drag this out. Like I said, make sure that you choose the boxes and not the fish. So I'm going to bring it here and out here, and I'm going to bring it out here, and I'm going to change the handles, right? So we have our first fish. Now, if you want, you can also add shadows to this, but see, and I'm talking about the waves, right? So I'm going to add drop shadow, and I'm going to change this, and I'm going to bring it out like this, and I'm going to change this, not this, okay? See, this is first one. Then I'm going to right click, layer styles, and choose drop shadow, right? And I'm going to go into drop shadow, and I'm going to change the value, and I'm going to change the distance, and I'm going to change the blending mode to screen, and I'm going to pick this color, I guess, or let's go with this and just make it a bit darker, and let's go with multiply here, okay? And I'm going to decrease the distance, and I'm going to increase the size, okay? And this is optional, by the way. You don't have to do that if you don't like it, but I'm going to make it really, really subtle, okay? Press Ctrl C, okay? And I'm going to choose all the waves, and then I'm going to press Ctrl V. Now, let's take our fish to the next level. Okay, also you can make changes as you move forward. It's not set in stones, right? So I'm going to press Ctrl D. Ctrl D is a shortcut that is used to duplicate. Then let's move the fish, right? So if I move the fish like this, well, nothing changes. So what do we do? Okay, so there are two options. The first option is all you have to do is just choose all keyframes, okay? Then you move the fish like this, right? And the another option, which I think requires lots of work, is to use nulls, okay? So the shortcut for the nulls is Ctrl Alt Shift Y, or right click, new and null, okay? I'm not going to show that to you, right? So all you have to do is just choose the null, and I'm going to move it, okay? I'm going to come at a point where it looks nice, and I'm going to bring it down like this, okay? So this is another option. So I'm going to call this position control. You don't have to do that, right? Then I'm going to move this fish, another fish, to the back. The problem here is that both the fish have the same motion, right? But we will deal with that later, okay? So I'm going to just reduce the size of it just a little bit by pressing S and then just rescaling, okay? Now I'm going to select the first fish, and then I'm going to press Ctrl D. Then I'm going to bring up the keyframes by pressing U, and I'm going to just select all of them, and then I'm going to bring it on top. Anyways, I'm going to bring it on the back, okay? So, well, we have an animation like this, okay? So this is Martha Wayne, this is Thomas Wayne, and this is Bruce Wayne, okay? You know what's going to happen. Okay, so anyways, I'm going to select this fish, and then I'm going to press U, and I'm going to push it back. Okay, so if you want to drag your keyframes like this, all you have to do is just hold Alt and then you drag them, right? And I'm going to offset this, right? Okay, the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to press U on the Bruce Wayne, and then I'm going to bring the Bruce in, right? And well, Bruce is really fast. Okay, so I'm going to select the position keyframe, push it down just a little bit. Okay, and I'm going to drag this in. So we have our fish animation ready. Okay, so I'm going to bring the wave 3 just a little bit down. Okay, and I'm going to bring the wave 4 a bit down as well. Okay, and also I'm going to change the color on the wave 4. Okay, so I'm going to pick a different color like this. Okay, but I'm going to go somewhere around here, right? Well, we have really simple animation. This is the journey of the Batman. Okay, and I'm going to create a new solid. Okay, we need some noise here, and but before that I'm going to bring in this texture. Okay, and well, it's white. I don't like that. I need a different color, so I'm going to apply an effect called invert. Well, so this is auto save. I save it every 2 minutes, well, because of the past experiences. Then I'm going to change this to screen. Okay, screen doesn't work. Overlay, and I'm going to reduce the opacity, and I'm going to select this, then I'm going to mask it, then I'm going to feather it. Now what we need is we need to make sure that this is getting looped, right? So the waves are getting looped, but the Wayne family is not getting looped, right? Okay, so we want that. So there are two options. The first option is the harder one. You all have to do is just press Ctrl C and then Ctrl V up until that, right? The other option is to add the expressions. Okay, expressions are the codes, so I'm going to add in the expression called loop out. Don't ask me anything about the code. I'm a computer engineer and yet I don't know anything about the code. How ironic. Anyways, I'm going to type in the U, then and by the way, if you want to add expression to a keyframe or a property, all you have to do is just hold Alt and then click on it, right? See, it's written here. I don't know why I keep pointing my fingers. Anyways, loop out. Then where is Martha? Okay, so here is Martha, and then well, it's already looped. So Bruce needs some looping, and well, the reason why it looks nice and it loops in a great way is because all the fishes are at the end of the screen, right? And they are basically out of the composition. That's why it looks nice. Okay, if the case was different, okay, you might need to do some work with that, right? And I think I'm going to increase the texture just a little bit. See how beautiful that looks. It's really simple, but it's really beautiful. And also I'm going to just drag this over to there. And let's add text. Okay, so you can add text if you want. Okay, not web. So I'm going to bring it on the back. I'm going to change the blending mode to overlay. Okay, and so you can add text as well. This was just an example, so I'm going to get rid of that. The next thing that I want to add some noise to it. Okay, so I'm going to create a solid, and let's call this noise. And the first effect that I'm going to add is turbulent noise, and I'm going to keep everything as it is, and I'm going to animate the evolution on this. So I'm going to alt click, and then I'm going to type in time star or multiplied to 50. Okay, now I'm going to add some more noise to this. Okay, and I'm going to change this to, let's go with 50. It looks really nice. Then I'm going to change this to overlay. Then I'm going to decrease the opacity, well, because it doesn't look that great. Then I'm going to mask this. and then I'm going to feather it. So let's say that you don't like the animation on Thomas Wayne. All you have to do is you can change the trajectory of Thomas Wayne. You can save them if you want. You are the fisherman of your life. Okay. So I'm going to bring it here, and then I'm going to bring it here like this. Okay, well. Anyways, I'm going to change or pre-compose the waves. Okay. And so we have really simple animation that looks really nice. Now let's take it to a different level. Okay. But to take it to a different level, you might need a plugin. Okay. If you don't have a plugin, I'm going to show you a way. Okay. So I'm going to duplicate this, and I'm going to go to a place where all the Wayne family is there. Okay. And it's this. Then I'm going to go to animation, and then I'm going to apply the preset. Where is the preset? Well, this is. So it's called halation underscore amazing effect. I call it amazing because it is amazing. Okay, this effect is mind blowing, and it looks bad all of a sudden. Okay, so this preset is absolutely free with this video, so don't worry about it. So if you don't have deep glow, you can still get the look. Okay, all you have to do is apply this after you get the preset. Okay, then all you have to do is just increase the glow intensity, and you duplicate it multiple times. Okay, but it might get you some terrible results if you ask me. Then I'm going to change this to screen. Okay, see, now it looks pink, right? And now let's look at it with deep glow. Okay, so I'm going to just select all of them, delete them, then I'm going to just turn on the deep glow. Okay, so with the deep glow, this effect really goes like it really looks nice with the deep glow, right? So that's it. I'll see you in the next tutorial.